America back on track. Bill Martinez live.
Thank you for joining us and staying with us through this new year. Good to have you with us. Happy New Year. 6 minutes after the top of the hour. We got Craig Huey coming up in just a few moments. Of course, he is the founder of Election Forum and publisher of one of the largest Christian political newsletters in America. And he joins us now. Hey, Craig, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Very good, Bill. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing terrific. Outside, as you can probably tell, I'm dealing with a little bit of a head cold here, but that's okay. You know, I've been dodging bullets for the last couple of years, so you know
it's going around, and so we'll be praying for you.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I'm like a human blender for all kinds of remedies right now. I'm doing everything I can to try to keep this under control. But you know, such is the life as a you know, a radio announcer and a personality over the years, and that we've come up with, you know, our own, you know, special, you know, remedies because you know, hey, look, when you talk for a living, you got to stay, you got to keep the voice, right?
Absolutely, and there's all kinds of nutritional products that I have found have done great that the normal medical establishment ignores and you can't find in a drugstore. But you know, they do some incredible work in building your immune system and help you get through something.
Well, and I've been an alternate kind of medicine type person my entire life. So, you know, in fact, when you grow up and you have a Mexican mother, I mean, anytime anybody got sick, you went to the backyard and you grabbed a piece of, you know, a piece of an herb out of the backyard, and she made tea out of it, and shazam, you know, you're off and rolling again, leaping tall buildings. So yeah, that's been part of my life.
There's a book called None of These Diseases that evangelical Christians used to read all the time. And none of these diseases basically talked about natural therapies. One pastor, some of your listeners may remember, it was Pastor Chuck Smith and Calvary Chapel movement. And if they saw the movie by Greg Laurie on the Jesus movement, he was the star because he was the pastor that led a revival across America, and he believed in alternative health, natural health, and I was under his teaching. And Bill, I have to tell you, it changed my eating habits. It changed my way of looking at things. And as a business owner who has an advertising agency, I started helping companies that were in that field. So I had to learn and research that whole field so that when these diseases have come about, when COVID came, I was one of the people who said, wait a minute, I'm not taking a test vaccination that hasn't been verified, that could have terrible side effects. And so my teaching, based upon my research, was such that I am so glad I am personally vaccine free, and many of my readers and many of the people who have read my books and newsletters wonder why did he take such a strong stand and turn out to be right about this vaccination. And it's because of that understanding of nutrition and alternative health.
Exactly. Well, and also when you're dealing with a government that has already, before COVID anyway, Craig, our government had proved untrustworthy. So if they were untrustworthy, as Blumenthal out of Massachusetts would say, falso in uno, falso in omnibus, how do you translate and have any assurance, from a government that's been lying to you even before COVID? What kind of credibility do you have? And see, this is what's so frustrating for them now, is because they've lost so much credibility. People just aren't paying attention. Because like you, I refuse to take the shot because I approach life holistically. And I did get COVID, 3 years ago, I guess, when it first came out in March of that year. And I monitored it with my doctor to see what was going to happen with my natural immunity. Craig, to this day, remember Dr. Fauci said, "Oh, natural immunity will only last a couple of months," right? He kind of mocked. Right. I mean, this is Dr. Fauci. They're supposed to know better, right? It's been over 3 years, and my natural immunity from COVID is as strong as ever. So maybe I'm a freak anomaly. I don't know, but all I do know, like you do, is you trust the real science, the truth of science, and things that we've learned, the things that the Bible has taught us, and you follow the Word of God, and it works. So I say, look, you got to find out. You find out for yourself, because what the government has done to us and what it proposes to do to us, this is only the beginning. Until we, the people, can stand up and take this country back. Forget about it's not going to be through a political party, Craig. My announcement has been abandon the political parties. The political parties are not going to get you to the promised land. Okay,
right.
What brought us to the promised land is this American idea. Okay, based on Judeo-Christian principles. That's what brought us here. It got bifurcated, and for the sake of power and money, political parties took over, and they've divided us. And so here we've become the ununited states, brought to you by these elitists who were finding out that, all they know to do is plagiarize, cheat, steal, and kill. And we want to follow their lead? Really?
Here's one of the dirty little secrets the establishment doesn't want anybody to know, is that bureaucracy, let's just take the health area, the CDC and the FDA. The FDA and CDC promote an ideology medicine, an ideology health agenda. They pour millions and millions of dollars into propaganda.
Mm-hmm. That's our money. Our money, by the way, Craig. They're pouring our money into this.
Taxpayers' money. And worse, the FDA has killed and had a war on alternative medicine, a war on new drugs, making it experimental drugs so expensive, so outrageously impossible to get through and approve that only the major corporations, which pour millions and millions of dollars into political campaigns and political parties, they're the ones who are developing products and things that are even available in Asia and Europe that are wonder drugs.
Exactly.
And here in the U.S.
Right. And it's amazing how naturally they're there. Just like with my mother, you go to the backyard, take some clippings off a little branch there, a little bush, and you're all but well. And you didn't have to pay all these experimental expenses and research dollars. It's right there growing because God did give us gave us the trees and the branches for healing, didn't He?